key things is that there is a huge disconnect between the evolution of medicine and the capability of this pharmaceutical company to produce those medications. And you can have a clear example right here in Massachusetts. Massachusetts excel in the development of new therapeutics to cure many difficult diseases. More than, I think, 1,200 drugs are developed here in Massachusetts. But the majority of these drugs are manufactured outside of the state. Most of the API, 85% of the actual active pharmaceutical ingredient, are coming from abroad. 45% of final dosage form are coming from abroad. So there is a huge opportunity to actually change this paradigm and manufacture those pharmaceuticals right here in the States. That's what really, again, motivates us to every day to bring this business forward, to basically eliminate this gap and link the excellence in developing new therapeutics, also in the excellence in manufacturing these new therapeutics. As we move toward like personalized medicine, breakthrough therapy designation, the FDA is continually challenging us in developing more agile and flexible manufacturing technique because current manufacturing assets are not feasible for this. That's where our continuous manufacturing technology will be an enabler to produce this pharmaceutical. And that's why for us it's so important to make this technology accessible and really revitalize the pharmaceutical manufacturing in the US and reverse all these offshoring trends which are currently present in the States. So there is an initial investment to be made because, as I was mentioned previously, the process is based on novel technology. So those novel processes don't exist right now in the market. So in order to, the pharmaceutical industry, in order to equip themselves with these novel units, they will need to invest into this novel process. What we provide initially, we do a design of how this process will work on their drug for a fee, for a cost. And then in the next step, we'll develop a pilot process for the pharmaceutical client that then can pay us for the transfer of this technology to their manufacturing facilities. Obviously, we are focusing on the pharmaceuticals because there where the inefficiency in manufacturing is very clear, and I can expand this a little bit later why it is important. But yes, this can be applied to chemical industry, and we actually are in contact with a few of these chemical companies who are interested to synthesize intermediate and active pharmaceutical ingredient with novel technique. Could be applied to nutraceutical, which is an industry which basically is less regulated than the pharmaceutical, and so you can see a less barrier of entry, for instance, you want to apply this further. So we're also looking into this opportunity. But our main core of business is on pharmaceutical. Include biologic as well, but our company and our technique has been developed specifically for small molecules. With that being said, we have been contacted already by some biologic company to apply some of this novel technique to the biologic. For instance, our continuous filtration system, which can easily be applied also to biologic product. So there is certainly some fit with what we're doing on a small molecule into the biologic world. We are actually in direct contact with the FDA. As I mentioned before, myself am on the steering committee of a team who organized the first international continuous manufacturing symposium here at MIT in 2014. We actually invited Janet Woodcock, who is the head, one of the director at the FDA for the Center of Drug Evaluation and Research. And so she's, again, as I said before, in full support of implementation of continuous manufacturing. And one of the comments that struck me during the conference from her was that she mentioned that the major hurdle is the concern from the pharmaceutical company that the regulatory agency will back those processes rather than the regulatory itself. That's why I made several comments before that I think that the issue of the regulatory agency is more like a perceived risk rather than a real risk, because there is a huge emphasis from them to see this technology implemented.